Hello, Goddess, and welcome to this week's Divine Masculine energy reading and empowerment message this week. Today, for this bi-weekly check-in that we do now here at Empowerment Experiences, where we look for and we find our power all along this, which is each our own self-love empowerment journey. And that is what a twin flame journey is. You will hear me say it over and over and over and over. This journey is about you, Goddess. It's about you. Yet, I get it. You can't help but think about him. Always on your mind, wondering what he's up to, where he's at. In spite of the fact he may have chosen someone else and is married with kids with someone else. If that's you, Goddess, this is definitely the place for you. Here again at Empowerment Experiences, we reclaim our power, break free of this twin flame trap of ego attachment, this counterpart cling that we get stuck in because of our own unworthiness, our own self-sabotage. And so for Twin Flame Tuesdays around here, the Divine Masculine message is first and foremost about that masculine energy collectively, the masculine energy that is within you. Because Twin Flame union ultimately is, again, this union within yourself. It is about you bringing into balance that inner Divine Masculine and inner Divine Feminine. And that is when you are aligned with that external union with your counterpart. However, at that time, you're detached, you're fully detached, and it does not matter, meaning you're not attached to the outcome, whether it happens or not with your counterpart, because you have already achieved that union within yourself. And therefore, you are already in that wholeness that you don't need anything outside of you to complete you, which as well, then you recognize that your inner connection with your Divine Masculine can never be severed. You're always connected. So this physicality of your attachment, of needing him in your physical experience, that is the attachment. That is perpetuating this twin flame trap, this counterpart cling of the belief that you need this person outside of yourself for you to love your life, to love yourself, to feel loved, to feel whole, to feel complete. Dear sweet sister Goddess, I say this with absolute certainty. You are whole and complete in and of yourself. And that is what this twin flame journey is teaching us, is to look within. Use the twin flame mirror to look within yourself, to heal what needs healing, what's coming up for you, right? We look to our external masculine for the empowerment tool, the benefit of the empowerment tool of the twin flame mirror. That said, I know for certain right now, the Divine Masculine has something to say, and this is both within ourselves, Goddess, but your external masculine, he wants to say something to you. When I woke up this morning, I was like, there is totally a message coming from the Divine Masculine. He wants to say something, but he recognizes where you are. He is very much feeling that this no bullshit energy now. He recognizes that you are not putting up with it anymore. That you are now truly seeing and feeling your value, your self-worth. That you don't need anything or anybody outside of you to validate your worth. And this is what this twin flame trap of ego attachment is about, right? In this twin flame realm, we get so attached to our counterpart and this label of twin flame that it becomes suffocating. It becomes quite toxic. It becomes all consuming. But that is not all that you are. And you have been recognizing this for yourself, goddess, that divine feminine, realizing that she is powerful and she is a leader and she is fully capable of creating whatever amazing life that she desires. And this true confidence and leadership is what is allowing that divine masculine to really see within himself how he has been lacking his confidence, how he hasn't been honoring not just your worth, but his own worth. Because you are leading by example. And that's also why he hesitates to reach out to you, because he wants to say something. But what can he say? He knows he's fucked up. He knows. He knows. And right now, the feminine is very much, the divine feminine energy is very much in this space of all about me, right? We're going to reiterate this because that is the energy for 2023, is all about me for the divine feminine. And again, this masculine, he feels that. And he recognizes that, wow, he fell so flat on his face for how he treated you, for how he would come back into your realm in a not very good state, in a very actually quite toxic state. He was bringing that to you, but that's because he was showing you the toxicity within yourself that was, of course, then attracting that to you. This is why now where he is, he hesitates coming forward. And again, this is your external physical masculine. He wants to come forward and say something if he has not already. He is on the verge. He's just got all of these nerves now because he knows, he fucked up. Okay. And so with that, I didn't even get the question out. This is where the twin flame connection is, where your connection is. It's in this next phase of activation, right? These past cycles have officially reached their expiration date, right? You are officially being activated into the next level. And this is why your masculine wants to reach out. Like I said, I don't normally, channel messages from the external masculine in that regard. It's more specifically the divine masculine energies. However, this is so strong that clearly I have to say, because you're never done with your twin flame. And I want that to be understood over here at Empowerment Experiences. Just because the primary focus is you, it's because it is about you. Doesn't mean we're not going to talk about our counterparts. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be twin flame empowerment. There's always going to be twin flame empowerment here. But underneath all of that is the foundation of that which is self-love empowerment. And so this next level of your twin flame empowerment journey is that next level of self-love empowerment as well, because you have been working so hard on yourself, goddess. You have been healing your own inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine, and really working to create this union within yourself, this balance, this peace within yourself. And like I said, he recognizes this. He knows that he cannot come at you the way he used to. It's not even an option. And he knows this. So that's why the hesitation, because he doesn't know. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know how to approach you. He just knows that the way he used to isn't working. So thus the clear evidence of this next phase of activation in the connection, in your journey, both your twin flame journey and of course your self-love empowerment journey, because you are perpetually going and growing on this journey. Just be open. Just be open. And with the prosperity, and we have animal messengers. This is exciting. The being open with prosperity, that's your sign. And when I just said be open, you have to be allowing yourself to receive the prosperity. So this card, prosperity, is coming to you in that space of you have to be open and allow yourself to receive this, to receive what's coming through, to trust that this next activation phase, and even I'm needing this message because, again, remember, my counterpart has been blocked because done. This was the last option for breaking this toxic pattern. Just don't, period. Right? And it's been incredible to be cleansing out this toxic, stagnant energy, right? Letting that go, creating space for this new to flow in. And that's honeybees. Once their honeycomb has been harvested, their honey has been harvested, they simply go to work making more because the universe is abundant. There's always more coming. There's always more than before. There's always better coming than before when you allow it. And so when you allow for better to come in your twin flame connection, and this means to be dropping the stories as you've been telling them, the narrative that you've been talking and speaking about your counterpart. So right here is a journal prompt. What is the story that you are telling about your counterpart? What is the story that you are speaking about how your twin flame treats you, what your story is right now with regards to what your experiences that you're having? What is it? How are you telling this? What is the narrative? If you were to write a book about what you're telling people about your connection and what you're telling yourself in your mind about your connection, what is that story? Write that down. Sometimes maybe you can just bullet point things. What are the things that you're telling about your connection and your counterpart? All right. Then you've got to look at that for yourself and say, wait a minute, because I'm sure it's not how you would like it to be. Regardless of the fact if your counterpart is in a relationship with someone else, married with kids, whatever that is, it is recognizing that, yes, you first, in the regards of you have to fill your cup first, and you have to heal you because only you can heal you first, right? And then when it comes to this twin flame connection, as you heal you first, that bleeds into the connection and in turn into your counterpart, and you are thus therefore leading the way. Like we're talking this week about being that leadership, stepping into the leadership role as the divine feminine. So you want to check out Super Sign Sunday. I will link that below in the description as well as maybe in the comments. And I'm figuring out these little card things that pop up on the videos, so I'm learning all this new stuff. But that said, you are the one that has to get out of your way. You've got to stop telling it how you don't want it to be. You've got to stop telling it how it doesn't feel good. And if any part of your story or thinking about your counterpart doesn't feel good, period, you've got to find other things to focus on. Because if you are thinking in a resistant manner about anything in your experience, then you are pushing that away along with everything else, right? So I'm curious to look up and see for animal messenger, bee spirit. Let's see what we have. Oh wait, that's angel numbers. Animal, come on, swipe over. Animal messengers, bee. And it says, for the bee messenger, your messages are stinger. Oh my goodness, this is exactly, I love this. You just can't make this up. The very first thing it says is stinger to jolt you aware of your negative thought patterns and beliefs. So again, goddess, what negative thought patterns and beliefs do you hold about your counterpart and about your connection? Make note of those, right? Then setting boundaries is a big one. And this includes setting those boundaries with yourself. Setting those boundaries with yourself so that you stop watering the weeds and you instead are pivoting and growing your garden in your mind so that your mind is supporting you rather than sabotaging you. Have energetic protection of yourself. That's the bee messenger. Insist on energetic respect from others. Goddess, again, if you, and this has been the twin flame connection for a while now, right? In the beginning, you have to be shown all the shit that you haven't wanted to see about yourself. You have to show all the ways you have been disrespecting your own self. And this is why people disrespect you, is because you haven't clarified what your personal boundaries are. You haven't clarified what is acceptable versus what is unacceptable with regards to what you will allow in terms of respect, what your boundaries are. So that's your second assignment for your journaling for this Twin Flame Tuesday is, what are your boundaries? What are your energetic boundaries? What does respect look like? I know this is like a multifaceted question here for real. What does respect look like for you, right? When you are respecting yourself, what does that look like? When others are respecting you, what does that look like? When you are respecting your boundaries, what does that look like? So explore the facets of this space of your boundaries and respect and respecting boundaries. Okay. Stop procrastinating and get organized, right? That's what this clarity is all about. When you have unclear desires, you get unclear manifestations, you get unclear results. And that's definitely what this twin flame journey is very much about. It's about manifesting what you desire, but at the same time, recognizing that you have to detach, you have to be okay, perfectly okay, with not getting it for maybe 20 years. You don't have control over when or how. Just what you want and why you want it, and why is most important, because that's how you feel. That's what it's going to create for you. That's what you've got to focus on. Feeling and embodying is how you feel. So you want to get clear and get your energetic state of being organized, your mind organized, your life a bit more organized in what you're creating for yourself. And stop worrying about things that don't feed you, that don't nurture you, things that don't really matter if they get done or not, right? Really check the things in your life that you are considering priority versus what isn't, right? So the bee messenger is about hard work and freedom. They are related to each other. And by hard work, it's understanding that means that you do the challenging things. You do the challenging lessons. You accept those, you embrace those, you lean into those lessons. That's what hard work is. It's the challenging lessons. It's embracing those. It's allowing yourself to learn, grow, expand, and ascend. And that's what liberates you. That's what frees you from the prison of your mind, from the any limitations that you have created or that society may have created for you or taught you to create for yourself. The bee messenger brings the message of relating to the interconnectivity of all life, the awareness of the hive mindset, recognizing that your energy directly affects and impacts and influences your environment around you and vice versa. The environment around you directly affects, influences, and impacts you when you're out, which is why it's so important, again, that you have this energetic protection of yourself, that you are recognizing your boundaries. You're putting up your shield of love, that I call it, where, it's my own, and I'm working on creating my own guided meditation for this, where your little empath shield, not little, but your empath shield, right? Where you have your energetic boundaries in place as well. You put up your shield when you go out. Again, you recognize that you are being influenced, but that at the same time, you then therefore have the power to influence your environment. So what's it going to be for you today, Goddess? Are you going to go out and be at the mercy of your environment, or are you going to go out and are you going to influence your environment by being that co-creator that you really truly are and stepping into that power? The bee messenger is associated with goddess energy and the nectar of the gods. Listen, goddess, honey, I am so addicted to my favorite local honey. In fact, I have to put his website down below here, local to Arizona. My favorite is the desert mesquite. Never in my life did I ever finish a jar of honey. Let me tell you, I have finished so many jars of this honey that I have a collection of mason jars in my cabinet, okay? It is liquid gold, I call it, and it makes it, people who come to my house, when I offer them a cup of tea, oh, I've had your cup of tea before. I would love a cup of tea, yeah, because of what I create. It's a whole experience, right? And that's what this is about. The experience that you're having. How do you want to feel, right? Look for how it can feel good. Allow it to feel good, right? Because right here, it's time to let go of who and what is misaligned and making you uncomfortable and unhappy. Whatever it is, and I even needed this. Whatever it is in your life, goddess, recognize for yourself any cycles, any patterns. Right? This was why the divine feminine had to take a break from the divine masculine. This is why. Because of the toxic cycles and patterns that have been just perpetuating over and over and over. And you have to be willing to let go of your divine masculine for good. If that's what it takes, because that is what true detachment is that you are perfectly fine and okay if y'all never end up together. That is what true detachment is. It's no different than anything else you seek to manifest in your life, is that if you constantly cling to whatever that is, and you come from that place of lack, you cling to it because you don't have it, you are perpetually and forever going to manifest the not having it, because that's what you're focusing on. You're focusing on that you don't have it, so that's the energy that you have. But in order to really truly align with what you do want, you have to let go of what is making you uncomfortable and unhappy, what is creating those blocks and resistance within you and keeping at bay what you desire, including your twin flame from coming in for those who do want that communication from him right now. If you keep focusing on that he's not communicating with you, he's gone, what is the story you're telling? It's time to transcend that. This is where we are. Remember, we're here to learn, grow, expand, and ascend, and that includes the transcendence of what is, quote, beneath you. And by that I mean these dense, heavy vibrations, these frequencies, these stories, these narratives, this energetic crap that you've been carrying around, that you're done. You're done, goddess. And because you're done, the connection is done with it. This is what's happening, is not just you from the work you've been doing, divine feminine, but your work on you and within you has created this transcendence, just as it is affecting and impacting and influencing your connection to be now transcending out of where it was. So these cycles you can expect to be broken when, not if, when your divine masculine comes back around, comes through, or whatever, or gets his message finally to you as he wants to. Mine has been blowing me up energetically, telepathically, and I personally, the past couple months, when he would send me out a telepathic message, I seriously, I would say to him, and I would say it out loud, leave me alone. You just stay away right now. Stay away right now. I don't want to talk to you right now. Leave me alone. And he has, so I want you to honor for yourself, goddess, that you've been in the midst of this transformation, right? You have transformed. You are in a different place, a different space, right? And now allow for this new space and new place to create something different for you, to create something different for the connection. The key is to recognize that you have transcended, what was. So the moment that any of these cycles that you have healed your way out of, and that the connection is now transcending itself beyond, you're going to spot these cycles immediately. And at minimum, it is going to feel like nails down a chalkboard inside your energetic being. It's going to feel, I have references. There's a machine at the dentist they use now where it creates like a vibration or a frequency. It's what they use to clean your teeth. I grew up as the child in school that could not bear, I couldn't physically stand nails down a chalkboard. And I would always end up outside the classroom, especially Ms. Clark's English class. It was always her class. And she would come walking down the hall and she always knew, like I was kind of one of those kids where I was cool with I was cooler with the teachers than the kids in my class. And she was like, they were doing the chalkboard again. I was like, yes, ma'am. So, that was it. But I hadn't really experienced that in a minute. But recently at the dentist, they got this new device and she started, oh my gosh, it was a different method of delivering the same frequency of what that nails down a chalkboard was. That's how it feels, how that device feels in my mouth for my body. Right? It's the same frequency, but the method of delivery is different, right? But it created the same, almost more amplified, cringe, effect in my body. So that's what's going to happen. Your energetic being is not going to be able to tolerate any more toxic bullshit, especially in this twin flame connection. And that's what this Twin Flame Tuesday is about for us. And we have just already almost gone my 30-minute time. Let's really quick grab a power of surrender before we wrap up today's Twin Flame Tuesday. But yeah, the masculine, your actual physical masculine, your counterpart, has something he does want to say. So you need to be getting crystal clear on what the narrative is, on how you want this to unfold. You've got to, again, release, let go of the old way of that you've been telling the story, the old way of how you view your connection, of how it's been, and you need to take some time, goddess. This is me cracking. Wow, we're not doing all of these, but this was what we needed right here. Trust. Trust that the vision that you have for how you desire for this to go, for where you are in your healing, that you would like that through use of the twin flame mirror, that you are the one that's going to influence as the leader in this connection. You're the one that's going to influence this connection. You're the one that's going to say, hey, this is how it is. Perhaps for those who may have your counterparts blocked, maybe it's time to unblock. I sit here going, as I say that aloud for myself, going, I don't what? But right here in front of my face. Surrender to trust. Trust that the universe is guiding you in the right place and is always supporting you, is always making sure that everything is working out for everybody involved. Everything is always working out for you. And that you're choosing to trust that you're in an entirely different space and place, both in your journey, how you feel about yourself and your energy. And so, of course, your connection is in a very different place. Your counterpart is in a different place, even if he's still physically in the same place, in the same marriage, the same. Inside himself, there is this awareness that has happened, this knowing that he's reaching his own space where he cannot tolerate the circumstances that he has thought that he needed to keep himself in. But the only way he's ever going to break out is with that trust. But you're the leader, goddess. You're the leader. And in that trust, you have to trust that no matter what, your paths will cross, that everything is working out for you, that however it is supposed to be, it's going to be. And that you, regardless of how that is, you are choosing to create for yourself an amazing, happy, joyful, cup runneth over kind of life, regardless of what your counterpart is or isn't doing, regardless of what he says or doesn't say when he comes back through. That you're trusting that no matter what your journey looks like right now, be that your self-love empowerment journey, your twin flame connection journey, that you are where you are and you are exactly where you're supposed to be, that everything is working out for you. So just trust. So I'm going to close with one of my favorite mantras, which is, I trust, I surrender, I say yes. Say that with me, goddess. I trust, I surrender, I say yes. And so with that wraps up this week's Twin Flame Tuesday Divine Masculine reading today, our biweekly energy check-in. Be sure to, again, check Super Sign Sunday for the full Divine Feminine energy reading this week. And with that, as I know I am here to do, I remind you, dear Divine Feminine Goddess, that the power, it is in your hands. The power to lead, the power to rise, the power to thrive. It's all in your hands, because that power has always, always been inside you. Namaste.